I think I should go back and watch Magnolia.
I ran into Paul Thomas Anderson as I was getting my physical. I'm sitting there filling out the paperwork, and I hear a guy go, "Kevin, hello," and I look up, and it's PTA, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. And I was like, "Hey, man, how are you?" And he's like, "Good, good." I said, what are you shooting? He said, "Movie with Adam Sandler." I said, "Oh, great." And after he left, I was just like, "Oh, my God. That's a motherfucker I bitch slapped on the internet." And he was so classy, you know, he didn't say anything about it. He wasn't like, I wasn't even looking. The dude was behind me. So he couldn't come up behind me with a fucking chair and been like, you know? Nothing like, he was like, "Hey, Kevin." And he could have then hit me with a chair, just so I'd see it was him. Like, that would have been my move. I would have been like, "Hey, Paul." You know? If he said something about me. But he was real classy, and I thought that was really kind of cool. Then I felt bad for my comment. Then I was like, ugh, I shouldn't have said that.
One of the stupidest things I've ever done in this life. Years ago, in 1999, when Dogma came out, it was the same year Magnolia came out. So Magnolia is coming out, and it's out, and it's getting blown. Everyone loves Magnolia, and all the critics. It was fucking fantastic. What an achievement. And, you know, Dogma was not getting the same kind of love. And so there I was reading my message board at viewaskew.com, and somebody was like, "Hey man, what'd you think of Magnolia?" or something like that. And, you know, a modern day Kevin Smith would just move the fuck on. You know, probably not even respond to that post. But fucking young, stupid, juvenile, jealous Kevin Smith.
Do you post as Magnolia fan on moviepoopshoot.com?
You cemented it into the View Askew universe.
Yes. I was like, where's my Oscar fucking talk? Like a jealous bitch. This apparently is what I write. They sent me an Academy Screener DVD this week. I'll never watch it again, but I will keep it. I'll keep it right on my desk as a constant reminder that a bloated sense of self-importance is the most unattractive quality in a person or their work. And then apparently I also likened it to a cinematic root canal. Whoa. Not only is it just like, why would you even fucking bother saying something? But it's also like, you know, dude, you're punching way too up. You know, pick on someone your own size. This guy's a fucking master of his art at a young age and shit. I have never went back and rewatched Magnolia, but I couldn't remember much about it other than Tom Cruise and Jason Robards and the frogs, which was where I was like, you know, and also I think that's what pushed me over the edge, where I'm like, all right, so the fucking frogs in this movie, people are talking about the biblical fucking, I'm like, I just made a whole fucking biblical movie, bitch. So I say to Jen, I'm like, do you remember anything about Magnolia? She's like, yeah, a little bit, but not a lot. I was like, I feel like we should watch that before we watch Licorice Pizza. And so we settled in to watch Magnolia, which I forgot was a 3-hour motion picture. Nobody's going to be surprised by this one iota. But I cried. An awful lot. I got so emotional.
And there's nothing worse than watching a fucking fat man weep.
Loved it so very much. And here's what I come up with. Yeah, there was what a jealous bitch young Kevin Smith was. I grew up in a big Catholic family. So I went to a lot of fucking funerals, but of relatives that were like older people who I didn't really fucking know or we saw once a year. So I really wasn't familiar with grief. I had never lost anybody close to me. I watch that movie now and I know grief. I've lost people that I love. Paul Thomas Anderson presents in Magnolia adult grief. And I was, even though I was 29 when I watched the movie, I was not yet an adult. I was still an infantilized fucking teenager who got a career at an early age. So what did I know about being an adult? As I watched Paul's movie the first time, I was literally still a kid. So I was in a much better position to receive that movie.
Sure.
Doesn't change the fact that the movie was great then. It's not like, and now it's good because I grew up. It was great then. I just couldn't see the greatness because I couldn't identify with grief. Now I can identify with grief. I will watch Magnolia again before the year ends, as my prediction. So I'm fucking dumbfounded by how much I love this movie, Magnolia. And, you know, I'm crying through it. My wife is just like, you know, what did you write about it? And I'm like, fuck you. Just eating fucking shit, but I don't care because it moves me, and anything that moves me gets my fucking approval.
Yeah.
Moves me to tears. I mean, I always knew Paul was a great filmmaker, but I'm like, oh my God, you know, my old white whale from the late 90s, early aughts. What a horrible way to begin the 2000s. No wonder shit went all downhill.
Was that unclear?
Kind of.
God.